education system focuses on how to think, how to find answer, but on the other hand, Josh doesn't agree with it, but relatively, Asian education system focus on memorizing. We don't know why it is true. We just accept it's true. You already know, guys. So this is our purpose. Your purpose is you have a children. Where do you want to send your child? In Asia. And this is this would house and guide you where is nice education.
What a way to frame it. Where would you want to send your kid? That's smart. Right?
Where do you want to send your kid? And today we focus on positive.
That makes it high stakes.
Each one.
I'm not gonna marry anyway.
So and based on reading, and this is the mood of the schools. Maybe Josh, do you agree with American students usually hands up to do something?
Yeah, that's how it's done. Yeah.
Madeline, I'm serious. The Chinese students usually doesn't hand up. Hand up. They just
sometimes
no taking. So
yes.
Sleeping.
Yeah, right.
And pray from
one school focuses on how to think, how to find answer, but the other focuses on what it is to memorize and to utilize it usually. So where do you want to send your children? And first page through with American and European education system. Second page through with Asian education system and their beliefs. But third and first pages is PISA. It is the global SAT who 15 years old students take the test all around the world, and this is the ranking. Always China is first ranking based on this test.
You say SAT?
Congratulations.
Word SAT kind of word test.
So it's like the SAT, but they used it for a sample group all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
To estimate.
Hong Kong is China.
Yeah, Hong Kong is China.
No.
The part of China. Right, guys? Serious? Hong Kong, China.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will read and think of for 10 minutes, and then we will find which one is positive thing based on your opinion. We will say for 15 minutes today, and we learn we analyze the articles today. Not deeply.
Just analyze those short quotations.
Yeah. And related with our thinking. Sorry, guys. The third page was taken 2009. The last page was taken 2012. Same test but different years.
Yeah, I see. The
Chinese Taipei or Taipei.
order switched.
Taiwan is Chinese. Yes. I think it's different.
But officially, Taiwan is not a country. In a global society. Because Richard Nixon and Mao Zedong had a discussion.
I think probably they are just slightly different, but almost similar to each other. Those two forms, Asian countries like Asian countries are so so intelligent in study.
I don't know what is it.
Comparing countries in economic performance 就是一个什么呢？国家与国家之间的一种那种经济性表现的一种测试。它就是反正就是看你的学习成绩如何，然后再。
那为什么中国排第一？
中国排第一呀。
它是什么排第一？
应该是综合排名吧，中国并不是所有都排第一啊。
So Singapore moved from number 5 to number 2. 2 years.
South Korea 和那个中国有点差不多耶。
Okay, guys, do you choose which school is better between Asian schools and American schools?
I mean, when you say Asia, like, you're talking about all of Asia, right? Like,
Yeah, right. So, where do you want to send your child?
America.
America.
America? Where?
I mean, America and Asia, like, you have to specify a country, like.
China, Korea, Japan, and
So, East Asian.
yeah, East Asian.
Okay.
Easily.
Geez, it's like, I don't know.
No? Okay. And where do you want to?
나는 for me.
It's like, do you want to lose your right arm or your left arm?
Philippines. But how's their education system? Do they stimulate asking, or do
They actually, I don't know, it's in 2008. I'm not sure the year. When I was studying there, a lot of people sleep.
So it seems like
Asian, like, right, yeah.
Asian education. And so let's talk about
Just based on, like, my experience in, like, the American education system, like, that makes me not want to send them to an American school, but at the same time, I don't really know if an Asian school would be a lot better. So I'm just kind of not really sure.
Okay.
I'd have to know more information to make that decision.
Different kinds of perspectives.
Yeah, different kinds of perspective, right?
So the 3 types of students exist in Asia. One just forget it sleeping. One study very hard. One just study normal, play normal. Only 3.
No hangout day. They didn't hang out.
Only sleeping guy hang out. And then no PE time in 뭐지?
No sports time.
No sports time.
I think in my experience, the school banned to do exercise. How's Chinese school? Because school induced to focus on studies is applied to Chinese school.
Yes. Definitely.
Same to Korea. So
I mean, purely on a numbers basis, it looks like Chinese students perform better at that age, but it's just, I don't know how much that translates to, like, life in general. I don't know.
Usually, I think Chinese students also study for 12 hours each day.
Yeah.
That's like a study worship country.
Yeah.
Study worship country.
And here, the master authority should only study hard. And in Asian country, we have a creed. If you study hard, your life would be better. So let's talk about it. What is the better thing and positive thing in Asian education and American education system to focus on school.
에이시아니면 왜 약간 좀 섬나라 같은 데 말고 공부하는 거 옛날
Korean and Chinese school advantage. And or what we feel here the advantage of American education system.
It teaches you how to think. That's the main thing, and it helps your future development. Whenever whatever job you want to do.
아 맞아.
Right.
적성 검사가 이거로 뭔가요? Check ability to find job.
Aptitude.
attitude.
Right, Josh?
I'd say the obligation of teachers have to answer students' questions is definitely something American education has going for it.
Sorry. I'm writing this.
他意思就是说，就是说这样你要去想，第一个你可能这个，第二个就是 check
Sorry, check aptitude.
attitude.
Aptitude, like
What do you mean by check attitude?
Like
Aptitude.
American like they have a like website for things that you filled out. Which like future job fit for your potential and ability, and which do you like to do? But actually in Korea just one way. So
So in America, you mean there's a website that can tell you what job you can do in the future?
like that. 나 근데 잠깐 나갔다 와야 될 것 같은데.
okay.
天性，
7
你
minutes.
懂了吗？
진짜
你懂了吗
It's okay.
？Okay.
But 第三个呢？
Obligation
금방 올게.
to ask questions.
I'm sorry.
Goodbye,
Always
Nima.
always
I'm gonna
question
call
what
you.
you
Coming
read.
back? Oh, good.
Always question what you see, and in order to 就是为了养成一个严谨思考的好习惯。
And then, but I have a concern. Yeah, this is positive thing of American education system, but those things lead to students to understand many things slowly compared to Asian students, and statistic data tells the truth. So what is the benefit of Asian education system? In your
Rigor,
opinion?
discipline.
Discipline?
I think the same. They tell you how to like Chinese. There's a word a TV politician used to say, sacrifice one for the many. That's a good thing Chinese often does. 就是说集体意识 They have a sense of collective. Something like that. So that's why when they cooperate each other, it will be way more better than Americans. Americans, cares about individuals more than the collective. And traditionally, they, like Chinese education, they often cares about family a lot. Its family education is really good. They tells you how to respect parents, but what about Americans? Americans don't have that. And also there's one thing about history education. The history education is something like, Chinese often, teach students to think about the Chinese history and the world history. But Americans don't do that.
Yeah, I'd say Americans don't teach you to be obedient to your parents; they teach you to be obedient to your government.
But you know, the education shouldn't be like that to teach you to be obedient to the government, obedient to your parents. No, they teach you to be a critical thinker. That's truly good. But they don't teach you to respect others. That's something I don't like to see. 就是不尊重长辈的意思。美国的话就是，他给我感觉就是不怎么太尊重长辈，不教这个尊重长辈的这种教育在里头。
比较开放，他们 open 的。
但是呢，也并不是所有美国家庭都是你想的那样，毕竟还有很多比较不错的美国家庭。
Usually in college year, from freshman to freshman and second year, the Asian students do math well than American students, but in senior period, American students' math is better than Asian students' math.
Because I think basically we should attribute it to thinking, because American like to write papers. That is true.
Yeah, right.
And papers requires you to think a lot. And the different thing is, the teacher don't teach Americans to think in a framework. They just think about whatever they want and try it. And is it go keep going? It is not. Rethink again, rethink. And that's how it is in students in America. But Chinese just teach students like, okay, just try to understand it, try to do the problem, and that's it. It end up like that. But they don't teach students to question the theory and any other stuff like that. Is that true?
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you agree American education pursued deep thinker to make a deep thinker, but Asian education system wants to make a efficient person to solve passion quickly?
Question is like homework question, right?
Yeah, right.
Any other ideas? Just say whatever you want.
In Asian education system, it's like solve the passion quickly rather than the processes. Let's look at in math class. Here teachers consider the process.
Yeah.
So if your process is wrong, they reduce your grades. But in Asian education system, they don't care the process when solving math question.
So like in an Asian school, like when you're doing a math exam, you don't have to show your work for problems. Typically, you just, as long as you get the right final answer, it's.
Well, it really depends on what kind of questions we do, right? If it's like like 大题.
Yes.
If it's like some questions, you just say blah 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 blah, solve something like this, and there's no blank for you to fill in. That means you have to show the process, how you solve a problem. If it's like a gut feeling, if it's like multiple choice, just choose whatever, just write whatever you want, just choose A B C D, something like that. But Asian just, but the 大题, you know that? It just, the teacher must see what kind of process you write. If every process is true, they give you 4 points. If one process is wrong, they reduce your points. Sometimes, if the teacher is quite strict, they reduce all the points.
就是老师给你大题做，跟着你。美国就没有这种。
美国的话，它就是什么做你如果说 if you just write that answer and the answer is right, the teacher gives you 4 points. That's it.
Yeah, right. Maybe you simple that 5 mark, 5 points, and we choose practice.
So your mean is if you write the answers is right, teacher will give you a point. In American.
Yes, it is.
Is your answer what?
You can ask some Chinese students studying high school here. They will tell you everything about it.
I know.
It's important that that the process of how you're doing it is evaluated. But I think if there's too much emphasis on the process, it's kind of like intellectually like crippling. If you just think, oh, I can just get partial credit, I don't have to get the correct final answer, and then I can just get the partial credit from it. I think when you take it too much into the process of it rather than the final answer, I think it just diminishes standards overall. So.
And the other one is, I think we cannot use calculator during the test time. In China and Korea, but in the US it is allowed.
Yeah.
That is another
用什么
factor.
计算器.
I'm more in favor of letting children use calculators. I think it's an important skill to have, and I think
老师都不给用。
因为题很简单，简单算一下就出来了。
高中我在。
Yeah.
中国还是
a lot of people are asking me, how do I use a calculator? I've never. Problem. It's not.
数算小孩子都可以做题，只要你懂。
我知道。
记忆是什么？
我们老师也不给用。
Yeah, right. And Chinese doesn't allow it. And I remember there's also another reason about.
This here can use this.
Yeah, calculator. If you just do it because if you calculate it, by hand, it will take a lot of time.
Any operation that a student is learning, they should learn it on pen and paper first, and then use the calculator. If they understand what the calculator is doing on like a computer science basis, I have no problem with students using calculators, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they can understand the operation that calculator is doing, calculator just makes it faster, makes learning more rapid, I guess, more efficient. So it's a tool,
You could say that it is like that. It should be like that. First, you should know how to calculate, and then you can understand how calculator works, so you can use it efficiently.
So returning to our main topics. So, do you still agree and hope your children to send American school? And do you have any idea, Josh? And serious?
Still weighing my options.
Do you still keep?
So, if you have a child, where do you want to send your child?
American.
But
try.
yeah, you know,
American
yes.
public school or
You can use many
Asian public
perspectives to think about it. 你可以多方面思考。
Natalie, do you still want to send your child to American school?
But I really want to, because it can teach you critical thinking, almost everything. And the critical thinking is important in your life. If you just like people who obey everything, no, the life will not let you go really well. And in Asia, the good thing is they tell you to be well disciplined in a group of people, and so and you have to understand others in order to cooperate. So this is a kind of atmosphere to let you understand other people. And it's also, if it's about cultural, I think the child should stay in China for some time. Maybe I would rather send my kids to American high school. I just want them to finish their middle school education and primary school education in China, because that's where they grow up. They need to know about Chinese culture. I don't want them to be an alien when he was born. He was born.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By age 5, all the damage has already been done.
Yeah.
I will send my children to Chinese first, and after that come here study high school or universities.
How do you think of Josh? What is your?
I mean, you framed it as kind of a binary. You send them to Chinese or American school, but they're doing they're taking half and half.
And Josh,
kind of changes the.
What do you want?
I definitely want my kids to go to American college and maybe high school, but
That's your conclusion, right?
I'm still up in the air about early education.
Okay.
I just don't know.
That is okay. But do you find
I think from a purely numbers standpoint, I have to go with an Asian school.
But do you find any positive thing in Asian education system and American education system?
I find positive aspects of both, but
would you say to me, for us, your opinion?
I don't know. I just international students I've met and stuff. They just seem like people who grew up in an Asian education system. I just feel like they're just so much superior in just efficiency of thought and being able to do math and stuff. And I think those are skills that you either gain when you're young or you don't. So I feel like critical thinking and stuff, that's something that people have to reach on their own. It's not something that can be taught. So I don't know.
But there's something teacher can teach them. For example, something research.
Yeah, research is a
research. The teacher can teach them to do that, and also something to use different kinds of cases, questions to just let them think. Never give them the homework. Think whatever way they want.
And we have one example. What two guys wants to send their children. He went to middle school in Asian countries, and he studied abroad, U.S. since his high school.
필리핀 왔었는데?
Philippines is Asian.
okay.
So, would you like to listen to his work, his experience? they want their children to send up until middle school, junior high school to in China, and then they want to send their children from since high school to university in the US.
I think it's good.
Why do you think it's good?
But there is actually disadvantages too, because you will not get along many times with your parents, first of all. And second of all is, like, I think college is fine, but like lower grade schools have a problem with racism and
You mean discrimination?
Yeah, discrimination.
Wow, it really, American schools vary. They have different kinds of backgrounds, but it depends on what school you are sent to.
No, actually, there's like less discrimination in like Christian school or Catholic school, but it's really kind of impossible to get along with American at the first time, because the English skill is very needed, which means even though your kids are like learning English, like how to speak back in that country, and once you come here, they will not get along with American because they use different English. Because I had like my parents sent me to Philippines first to learn basic speaking, and even though I learned from there, and then I got private tutors when I was in elementary school, English private tutors. Then I came here, but I don't know what is the meaning of what's up. So when they say what's up, I was like, what's up? I thought that kind of thing, and people are using slang like normally, not really slang, but some of the words like you dig, that kind of thing. So what I was like, you dig. So dig means dig, right? So I said, what is the meaning of you dig? And they say, it means you understand, like that.
Or you something like you get it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really impossible to get along together. At the first time, maybe they're interested in you.
People get impatient. Yeah.
Oh, 그치.
Yeah. If you're not understanding, or they aren't understanding you.
And second of all is, like, even though they send early, people might think that your children will learn English faster and very like American, but actually it's not true. They get along with their own nation people. Like there's a lot of people who come to study here, right?
I know, it's psychology.
So you can't really learn English too.
Yes, it's like something like in-group bias and out-group bias. People often prefer, in-group people a lot. This prefer out-group people kind of like that, because they are not like, because out-group people are not like you, right? Because the people, why you cannot get along with American, because in your mind there's a category system going on to tell you he is an outsider or she is an outsider, something like that. And also there's a second reason. People always assume they are the same, just like me. And you are superior to others. So that's why there's some conflicts going on between different groups of people. But this is a process, because you have to experience it. No one will experience that for you.
Right. And final, right? And sorry to cut off, but actually, Madeline gave me advice, and I think it's nice for our club. Would you explain to what you are thinking here?
Well, because this club is about academic study. many kinds of discussions every week. But I think this club should be kind of more than that. Like if it's about discussion study, if it's about economics, why don't you do some activities that can imitate something realistic, like they teach you kind of like DECA. You can compete with others, to do something like how to create some stuff in order to get a better feedback from outsiders, or
like give us research projects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's what Americans often do, right? Americans will like it because of different kinds of projects, and we can have other teachers as our backup, and to evaluate as a teamwork of evaluation, and then we just show our work, for example, like a product, and show them and let them see which one is better or something. But I think it's just the beginning. If we want to develop like that, it will take a lot more time, and we need to to do something like keep after the original team, before the original team will go, and they have to give this club to someone they can trust. Because they can succeed the club into a better club, something like that.
Yeah.
We have to think about it. And also, because and the second thing I want to say is, because it's about academic study, it's way hard to think about some activities and attract students or something. And at first I just think about, we can make an agency that can help others about homework or kind of projects. We don't know about those stuff, but we can ask people to do that for us. And we just like an agency between like customers and those helpers, something like that.
Like department stores.
Yeah, but I don't think that works well, because if people will need help, they often ask tutors in school, but tutors are already available in schools. So we must think of something that the school cannot provide. So that's why our club can be as competitive as heroes, or something like that.
He says you're awesome. Awesome. Looks like true good, yeah.
Like the Heroes Club.
But we shouldn't copy Heroes Club.
Yeah.
We have to think
our
about
own thing, yeah.
we have to think about something different, way more different than the heroes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So.
But I just think about June. I question about, there's something offensive. Maybe I shouldn't tell you. Is that okay?
It's okay.
And because your purpose is quite general, how can you develop a more specific purpose?
Because actually my purpose is so specific. So school doesn't like it. To persuade the school, I change my purpose ambiguously. And then, yeah, you're right, and I agree with you. So let's think of it together.
Okay.
June. I'm kind of disappointed you didn't lay down the law and say you have to pick one or the other, American education or Asian education for your kids. Go. Like
me?
You made us. You let us like. I'll go half Chinese, half American. Like. I think you should make us choose one or the other.
In my case, I want to send my children to Japan.
오 나도. 대박.
Because Japan Japan doesn't study hard
Exactly.
right now.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. It doesn't study so hard like Korea and China. They also allow people to work. That's quite awesome, you know. Allow kids to work. Something impossible in China and Korea, but they
Actually,
do.
it's possible.
Yeah.
But this would be my policy. I don't say study. So I would send my children, if I have money, to Japan. That's my option. And then, okay. So everyone agrees with Madeline's idea.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, including. And Madeline, do you have any specific idea what we research or what we do make a project?
What do you mean? Next week?
Since next week.
Can you let me think about me?
Actually, I'm doing one thing,
뭔데?
and I will improve the rights of international students here.
I don't want to hear anything about that today.